Captain's Log Supplemental.
So, Miss Vicki.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when we were watching those WRL events and some of those grid life events where you used to see the in-car video and it had like the cameras seeing front and back, but it also could see all the telemetry and everything that was going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the ones that we liked were taken by the Sentinel system. Remember James came on our podcast earlier?
Right.
You know, we have no excuse since he lent us one for trial and demonstration purposes. We should actually probably put that in one of our cars. Maybe two.
I really think we should.
I think we should.
I know.
Because then we'd look like the immature endurance racing team that we are. Oh, wait, I mispronounced that, didn't I? Sorry, my bad. We could
So what does
have-
the Sentinel system do?
We could have 3 cameras with picture-in-picture. We could have, if we ever get the AIM system to work, open invitation to anybody from AIM to come on and give us a little bit of love. We need some help. And then we could have all our telemetry on there. And then we can have it streamed live into the paddock or around the world to our millions of fans. We're apparently very popular in Kenya right now. Don't know why, but that's fine. And it can integrate all the available race statistics from like Race Hero and everything. So we could actually see how we're doing on video. We wouldn't even have to carry around our phone anymore. Live.
I love it.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled 3 who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team. Dominating with Dawson.
Emergency dominating with Dawson. Emergency dominating Dawson with no Dawson. Who's here?
It's
Kaan.
me, Vicki.
And Kaan.
And me, Kaan. Yep.
Mhm.
Kaan, covering for Ben Dawson, is a very
Trying.
heavy load to handle. However,
It is.
however,
Big shoes to fill.
However, on our list of questions for Ben, I saw one and I immediately said, I have the perfect Ben Dawson impersonator to help us with this one. Luckily, there's no French-made costume required to be a Ben Dawson impersonator, so that's the
Okay,
first
good.
thing we have to cover.
It wouldn't fit me anyway.
They make lots of things in sizes that shouldn't be made in those sizes, but that's a different story. Okay, Kaan.
Mhm.
I have a list of at least 9 things, and I'm sure you have a list of at least a bajillion things, but let's just cover some of them.
Okay.
Tips to build a race car cheaply.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Not
Mm.
not cheap,
Mm.
but optimal, because you can go out and get your brake pads from AutoZone and save
Mhm.
yourself some money,
hmm
but not exactly optimal. So you being a hardcore budget conscious, almost budget friendly racer,
Okay.
this has you written all over it.
So I have a spreadsheet that would probably take me off of this list, but I know some people. I'd started out racing on a shoestring budget. So tips to start racing on a budget or race on a budget is pick a car / class that lots of people have in the paddock area. Why? Because spare parts are plentiful usually, and the fast guys always have takeoffs from tires to I need to upgrade my MCS suspension for my Penske's. So I'm going to sell my MCS suspension on the cheap or, whatever. Put your brand in there. Mid MCS isn't mid tier, but if you can get a high tier for used from somebody that it was taken care of, then you get to upgrade at a discount. Also, it means these cars are probably all over Facebook Marketplace, which is the new Craigslist essentially, for all the old people out there like me. Used to cruise Craigslist for cheap cars, motorcycles, and stuff. And they don't. Well, I guess they do exist on Craigslist. Craigslist exists, but I don't trust it. It's more like a scam these days, I feel like.
Seems like it.
Yeah. Let's see. Don't be afraid, especially when you're first starting, to run takeoff tires. Usually the tire people will like give away stuff that's good enough, and you can buy some sets cheaply.
With or without rims too.
Yeah, with or without rims. But once you have your wheels, you should be able to find some cheap tires, even race tires, even if spec tire for your class, if you need to. Let's see. What were some other ways I was saving money? I do most of my own work.
Yep.
Go ahead and get your YouTube ASE certification. Watch all the videos and here's a tip for that if you're trying to save some time. Make sure it's like the exact year of your car, because I've done it where I've watched a video and I'm like, oh, the first gen fit, you can knock a wheel stud out without pulling the hub because it fits in this one little notch. The second gen hub doesn't have that little notch. And so, yeah, I made a mess. And
it can even be a mid-year change sometimes.
Yeah. So just look before, but definitely do your homework. Do it, do your own, work. And sometimes the cost doesn't seem like you're saving money. Our favorite brake pad bill.
Yep.
When you pay that bill,
yep.
Unobtainium, but when they're obtainium and you pay that bill up front, it's expensive. But when you go, it lasts 10 times longer than the pad that's half the price, it's now way cheaper.
And performs better.
Okay. Yes.
To me, it's more consistent than some of the ones I've tried.
But that may be why they don't come around. You need to call your contact, because I don't think they make them anymore, because they were like, we don't make any money on brake pads because they last forever. We have to fix this. But
I'm toying with the idea of making them myself.
Oh, well, look at you. Engineer and all.
I'd make them for you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kaan's like, then it's a great idea.
That's great. That's a great idea. Just go for it.
I love that idea.
You should make more of them.
Right. Bill, how do you guys look to save funds?
So one of the things that when we did some of this in the beginning, and we were being helped by 3-Pedal Mafia, who's an endurance racing team, and they kind of were ambassadors for us, and now they're friends, and we call them our sister team, and they deny it. But they said, especially if it was your first race car, to buy a race car and don't try and build it yourself after you get it inspected and make sure that the cage is good and everything is good. If you can do that, because the odds are you're going to mess it up. You don't really know what you want in the beginning, and it may not be your forever car. So they would recommend, especially they were talking about endurance racing with us. They're like, just get a car that you like and looks cool and has passed tech and raced and shown that it goes, and that way it minimizes the amount of potential errors you can make because you don't know, and it also minimizes the amount of inertia it takes to get you to the track that first time and shortens that time so you don't end up being the person who has, I'll be there as soon as I put my turbo in, as soon as I do my big brake job, as soon as I do my fancy schmancy whatevers. And most of those things aren't going to make you any faster, and you don't need them at this point. And you may end up actually costing yourself a lot of money and time when you didn't need to. So that was one of the things.
Yeah, I try not to skimp on any safety equipment.
No.
I like not at all. So if you looked in my race car and you were like, oh, well, everybody calls me Rich at the racetrack, and I don't understand why. I just built a new one-ish, newish. I guess that's why, because I don't have my old car anymore. But
there wasn't much left to your old car, sir.
No, I cut it in half and put half of it in the guy's pickup bed and the other half on a utility trailer, and he sold it for scrap. So, yeah. But that's what happens when the car chassis fails, and eventually they do. So that's my concern. I understand, but I also bought a used race car, and it was well used. Let's just put it that way, like 20 years on track.
Right.
So if it's that well used,
yeah, two used is not
two
good either.
used, yeah, two used is, but it was a heck of a deal. So whatever.
Yeah, but it got you out on the track too.
Yep, it got me through HPDE 2, 3 comp school and a couple of years racing. So yeah,
I think it
didn't know me anything.
Yeah, no. Miss Vicki, you got any ideas?
No, I don't.
Okay, good.
When it comes to like a weakened chassis or purchasing a car?
To save money when you're trying to build a race car cheaply. Don't let Bill have PayPal, Venmo, or any of the online.
Yeah,
don't do that.
The issue sometimes that we have, which I've noticed, is if we need one, we're going to buy a bunch. But we also have to make sure that part fits. And sometimes that don't overbuy your stock until you know exactly what you're doing, because going out in your purchasing aspect, just because it says the part will fit your car doesn't mean it's going to fit your car. It says it will, but I don't know why it doesn't. So, just because it says, okay, you can fit it, I'm going to buy 2 more just so I can have them in stock. And if you suddenly have to actually use it and it's out of stock, you're past the return date, then you're just kind of screwed with all these parts that don't fit your car. So that's a way of just shopping smart, is a nice way of saving money, because we've run into that problem several times.
I feel targeted.
No, because it's gotten me also. It has gotten me also. I don't know how many times, even from a junkyard perspective, just trying to get the proper match is difficult. You would think it would be, and I don't know why they're not. I don't know. So that would be my way of saving money, is to shop wisely when you're doing these things and buy one, and if it fits, make sure you remember the number and then put that in your stock. Always
make a car Bible and list all these things once you learn them, because sometimes our cars get to be Frankensteins.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you go to AutoZone and they're like, what car is it? I'm like, well, it's a 1993 Honda Civic, but the engine is a 1996 SI, and the transmission is, it's just, it has nothing to do with what I want, dude.
Yeah.
Jaime, I'm going to channel Jaime right now because he's so excited. He put, if you don't own a German car, but you can put Porsche brakes,
yeah, he's very happy
on that German car, he can now do the FCP Euro return policy stuff. If you don't know what that is, definitely check that out. They need to make a FCP Asia for us Honda kids out there, but
it is. It's pretty.
That's
sweet.
one way to save some dough.
Yeah, a couple of our teammates live right near there, so there is no shipping. So it's fantastic. One thing I like, I don't know if you have one for your car yet. There's a website called e-manual online. So E like electronic, manual like car manual online. And they will sell you, and we got to be a little careful, but they will sell you your repair manual for your car for like $20 PDF. Some of the newer ones, they don't have PDF or they're not available yet. And sometimes they just sell you the manual from the glove compartment. So you kind of got to look carefully and figure out which one you want. But for $20, $25, it saves you an endless amount of time. And some of those manuals are like 9,000 pages. It's ridiculous how long they are.
And hundreds of dollars.
Yes. I've seen them over
I definitely
2,000.
own. Yeah. I
It's
paid
ridiculous.
$300, $400 for my manual.
Yeah. So worth getting. It lets you do things. I think that and Vicki's recent graduation from YouTube University, between those two, she can pretty much do anything she wants to do with any of our cars. So that's a good thing. The best way also is to have a bunch of friends in the community, especially in the same paddock, because I can't imagine how many times even Kaan saved money by, somebody's got the part he needs in the paddock. It happens all the time. So that's good.
Not only that, I'm looking for a part and my circle can find it, and they find it cheap because they're as cheap as I am.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And then the one thing I wanted to cover before we finish this, Kaan and Vicki, get your buzzers ready. Vicki, your beep beep, and Kaan, your vroom vroom.
Okay.
What part of a race car is not a consumable part?
Vroom
Beep,
vroom.
beep.
Vroom vroom came in first,
Everything is consumable.
including the car, as Kaan has proven, and we have as well. So if you think it won't wear out, you are what's the word, Vicki?
Wrong.
There it is. Exactly. Much like Kaan cannot say the wet precipitation that falls from the sky, I have trouble with
Weather.
that. Yes, weather. Yes. So there's other things you can do. You can make your own parts. You can, fabricate whatever. But when you start getting down that far down the rabbit hole, you're probably going to have a bunch of friends and, invite them over, have some pizza, have some liquids of choice. And maybe one of them could be us or Kaan. Or if you want somebody with talent, Vicki. And if you want somebody to go get parts of the food, me. Anyway, so don't kill yourself on it. Your race car can be it's much like when Vicki and we lived in Hawaii for one of my jobs. And the rule with Hawaii was, wow, it's really expensive to live there. No, it's not that bad. However, you can spend all the money you want to, or about the same. So a race car, you don't have to spend $1 bajillion. It's very easy to do so, but you don't have to. And there's ways to save some money. And actually, real people can do this. So 3 of us are on the screen right now, even though you can't see the screen. So it's not cheap, but it doesn't have to be ridiculous. Did I miss anything, Kaan?
No, sir.
Okay. Miss Vicki?
I'm good.
Okay. Very well. Podcast in the books. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks.